Every major wizarding nation watched Harry Potter survive Avada Kedavra and drew the same conclusion. The unbreakable law had broken. What followed was not open collaboration but quiet, urgent, nationally self-interested research. Britain's intelligence network, maintained through a small, underfunded division of the ministry, has placed observers inside or adjacent to several foreign institutions. Durmstrang, the Tonfa reports. Classification: restricted. Magical law enforcement and senior aura office only. Durmstrang's response to the post-war landscape has been characteristically direct. Rather than attempting to counter Avada Kedavra theoretically, their researchers have approached the problem from a combat pragmatism angle. If you cannot reliably stop the curse once cast, prevent the caster from casting it at all. The Tonfa project is the result. A prototype magical weapon, modeled loosely on the Muggle close combat tool, enchanted to function as both a physical instrument and a casting focus. The core innovation is aggressive. It is designed to bring a duel into close quarters range, where the wand movements required for Avada Kedavra become physically difficult or impossible to complete. Running parallel to the Tonfa is a secondary prototype spell, internally designated Mobile Protego, a shield charm engineered not to hold position but to move with the caster at close distance, shrinking the window in which Avada Kedavra can be safely cast against them. Status: both projects are confirmed prototype stage. Reliability is inconsistent. Field deployment is not imminent. However, the conceptual framework is considered sound by the observing spy, and development is active. Ministry assessment risk level: moderate-high. If refined, the Tonfa system could represent a significant tactical advantage in close combat wizard confrontations. France, Beauxbatons adjacent. The Butterfly Protocol. Classification: restricted. Senior aura office: minister's eyes only. The French report is the one that disturbs people. The spy's account is fragmented. Observation from distance, second-hand testimony, one confirmed witnessed incident. What is known is assembled below. Before a serious duel, certain high-level French auras perform an extended pre-combat casting sequence. The casting is deliberate, visible, and takes long enough to be tactically exposed, suggesting it is performed only when confrontation is anticipated, not in reactive combat. Upon completion, the caster manifests a visible effect: deep blue orbs, orbiting the body slowly, like a slow planetary system. The number of orbs has varied across observed incidents. Their exact function during combat is not fully understood. What is understood is what happens when the caster sustains a critical hit, including, in one reported instance, a direct Avada Kedavra strike. The body does not fall. It collapses into blue light, fragmenting into what witnesses have described as butterflies, dozens of them, each carrying a fragment of the caster's form. They scatter. Then, over seconds, they return. They reassemble. The caster reconstitutes. The caster then collapses, alive, breathing, but completely incapacitated, unable to continue. The theoretical basis, for the spy's analysis, appears to draw on Horcrux-adjacent principles, the fragmentation and preservation of self, but applied without the soul-splitting requirement of true Horcrux creation. Whether this is achieved through object anchoring, spell anchoring, or some other mechanism is unknown. Side effects are severe and appear consistent. No observed caster has remained conscious post-reconstitution. Whether there are long-term effects, to memory, to identity, to magical ability, is entirely unknown. Status: prototype. The French are not deploying this. They appear to be testing it, quietly, with volunteers. Ministry assessment risk level: extreme. Conceptually, this is the closest any nation has come to a functional survival mechanism against Avada Kedavra. The ethical and magical implications are deeply uncertain. The soul magic adjacency alone warrants serious concern. Makusa Department of Arcane Innovation. Project Quickdraw Classification. Restricted. Senior Aura Office. Minister's eyes only. The American report is the one that is hardest to take seriously. That is a mistake the agent warns against making. The account is reliable. 3 embedded sources, one of whom attended a closed demonstration, one of whom worked briefly in the manufacturing division before transferring, and one of whom is simply very good at getting people to talk. What is assembled below reflects a consistent picture from all 3. The Americans looked at the problem of Avada Kedavra and identified the same variable the Durmstrang division did: time. Their solution is different. Where Durmstrang builds soldiers who can close the gap, Makusa is building a mechanism that removes the gap entirely. They are putting the spell inside the wand. The device is called the wand bullet. The name was coined informally by field testers. It appears to have stuck. The concept is simple enough to explain in one sentence and difficult enough in execution that they have been working on it for 2 years. A marble-sized crystal sphere, inscribed with a pre-loaded spell, chambered into a modified wand, discharged with a single downward jab. No incantation. No full casting motion. The spell is already inside it. The wand fires it. The discharge time, in the agent's account of the demonstration, was fast enough that the target was already falling before the sound of the jab registered. The crystal is dragon's blood. Compressed, inscribed, single use. Each one takes 4 hours to make by hand. Each practitioner carries 3. Once spent, they are gone until the next manufacturing cycle. The limitations are significant. The agent does not downplay them but asks that they not be mistaken for the story. The wand cannot cast anything for 2 to 3 minutes after discharge. The recoil is severe. At distances beyond 50 feet, accuracy becomes unreliable. Attempts to inscribe Avada Kedavra into the crystal have destroyed the wand and the hand holding it on multiple occasions. The Makusa division has formally suspended that line of research. The agent adds, without elaboration, informally is a different matter. What the Americans have, right now, is a prototype with serious flaws. What they are building toward is a practitioner who can end a confrontation before the confrontation begins, not by getting close, not by performing a ritual, not by surviving the curse, but by ensuring the curse is never cast. 1 bullets, 1 chances, 3 engagements resolved before a single syllable of Avada Kedavra is spoken. The unit testing the system is called the Quick Draw command. They have 6 modified wands. They are practicing the jab. They are getting faster. Status. Prototype. 6 units. Manufacturing capacity limited. Recoil and cooldown problems unresolved. Formal unforgivable inscription research suspended. Ministry assessment risk level. Moderate. Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Britain. The Founder's Hand Program. Classification. Restricted. Senior Aura Office. Minister's Eyes only. The British report is the one nobody expected to write. For 14 years after the Battle of Hogwarts, Britain was considered a non-factor in the arms race. They had won their war. They had their hero. The international consensus, unspoken, almost polite, was that Britain was done. Exhausted. Rebuilding. Content to rest on the most extraordinary magical event of the modern era and call it sufficient. The account below suggests that assumption was wrong, and that someone in Britain knew it was wrong long before the rest of the world bothered to check. The source is fragmented by necessity. Britain does not advertise this program. There has been no published research, no diplomatic disclosure, no academic paper with a carefully worded abstract that intelligence analysts could pull apart over lunch. What exists is assembled from 3 separate informants, one embedded in the British ministry's low administrative levels, one with access to Hogsmeade gossip networks that have historically proven more accurate than they deserve to be, and one who attended a dinner party in Edinburgh at which a Hogwarts staff member said something they almost certainly should not have, and from one piece of direct physical evidence, a second-hand account of 4 students walking across the Hogwarts grounds. At approximately 11 o'clock at night, wearing plain black ties, moving in a formation that no 14-year-old learns accidentally. The program is called the Founder's Hand. The name is McGonagall's. This matters, because Minerva McGonagall does not name things carelessly. What is understood is this: 4 students, 1 from each Hogwarts house, are selected at the beginning of their 4th year. The selection criteria are not publicly known. The results, based on what little observation has been possible, suggest a process considerably more rigorous than any standard academic assessment. The selected students are pulled from extracurricular life entirely. No Quidditch. No clubs. No Hogsmeade. They are given an office. They are given a training ground. They are given, according to one source, direct access to the headmistress and all 4 heads of house in a capacity that has no precedent in recorded Hogwarts history. What they are being trained to do is the question nobody has yet answered cleanly. The agent's best assessment, drawn from the formation observed at 11 o'clock and from second-hand accounts of what sounds like coordinated defensive casting in the lower training grounds, is this: they are being trained to function as a unit, not as 4 talented individuals. As one thing, made of 4 parts. The crosshouse composition appears to be deliberate and central to the program design, not incidental. Whatever McGonagall is building, She is building it to require all four of them. Durmstrang built a weapon. France built a ritual. America built a mechanism. McGonagall appears to be building something else entirely, and the agent cannot find the right word for it except, uncomfortably, legacy.